A guy who begs to differ, joining us with new research. He sat down and taken a look at this. It's our friend Rich Noyes, research director at the Media Research Center, as he Skypes in from Washington, D.C. So, Rich, you have a new study that breaks down the numbers for us. What about falling poll numbers from President Obama and the role it plays in the midterms? Has anybody from the Alphabet networks been covering the story at all?
Very, very lightly. You talk about 2006. That was a year when President Bush was down around 40% in the polls. Democrats looked like they were going to make huge gains in Congress. That was a big story on ABC, CBS, and NBC. Between September 1st of that year and October 20th, they ran 159 stories on just their evening newscast about the campaign. Go to this year, September 1st through October 20, those same networks ran just 25 stories. President Obama's down in the polls just like President Bush was. Democrats look like they're going to be shellacked in this election, but it's like those stadiums where the fans roar when the home team does well, and then they get very silent when the home team does badly. Here, I think the media are acting like the home team when they're pretty silent about this year's campaign, because it's just not going very well for the Democrats.
Rich, so we got to ask, who's the worst offender in ignoring this year's midterms? Who gets the prize on this one?
Yeah, ABC's World News Tonight, David Muir took over September 1st. We also looked at the weekend broadcast. They have yet, and we also, our study goes through Monday, October 20th. We looked at Tuesday night, Wednesday night. They have yet to mention this year's midterms on their broadcast, which is just incredible for a national evening newscast to not cover a big national election now with just 12 days left to go.
Only a couple of minutes literally left, Rich, and we appreciate your time here. But I'm just wondering, there's no big secret. There's an ideological predisposition on the part of a lot of network producers, anchors, and reporters. But there's some familial connections with the Obama administration, are there not? Don't we see brothers, sisters, spouses, cousins in the employ of the Obama White House on the part of the news administration at these different Alphabet networks?
Well, we do. We also see, people like George Stephanopoulos, who runs the political coverage over at ABC. He'll be one of the anchors of their election night coverage. They'll get around to mention the election, I guess, on election night. Longtime Democratic operative Ben Rhodes over at, Ben Rhodes is in the White House. David Rose is at CBS. But regardless of who their friends and family are, when the networks have been sort of tilting in the Democratic direction for a long time, it's just very unusual that they'd be this transparent about it. You mentioned polls. We did a study earlier. President Bush's polls in the whole year of 2006 got a great deal of attention. President Obama's low poll numbers, almost none. Now we have this election where, again, almost no coverage versus big news in 2006. I mean, they're really picking and choosing what they cover. When they do make their picks, CBS actually has run 3 segments on sort of in-depth on races, the way they used to do it in other years. They're all about races where Republicans are having some problems. Well, that's not the story of this year's campaign. They talk about Kansas and I forget the others. But, the story of this campaign is Democrats in trouble, not Republicans, although there are individual instances of that.
Hey, we'll have to leave it there. Rich Noyes of the Media Research Center, thanks so much for your time. Maybe you can make the argument it's like a man biting a dog. But anyway, we'll leave that alone. Hearst's definition notwithstanding. America's Forum continues here on Newsmax TV.